Venezuela depends on oil. It has the largest reserves in the world, and the resource provides at least 90% of its export income. That dependency was revealed in a bad way in 2014. A fall in the global price of oil helped expose an underlying economy that was riven with inefficiency. The country's been in deep recession ever since. Now, with US sanctions and the coronavirus pandemic, there is speculation that a new low point is approaching. One sign of that is the gasoline queues in this oil-rich country. Last month, President Maduro warned that the oil price slump, it was then at $24 a barrel, was a brutal blow to the economy. He called for international efforts to stabilize prices.
I proposed the need to resume the dialogues within the OPEC Plus framework to move towards objective, achievable agreements for the gradual, progressive, sustained recovery of the oil market and the price of oil.
In the 1950s, Venezuela was the world's third biggest producer of oil.
As we headed out into the lake,
It's sometimes cited as a textbook example of what's called the resource curse, where nations that have abundant resources often fall into inefficiency and corruption. There have been attempts to diversify. The Maduro government relies quite heavily on exports of gold, though much of that is mined illegally, and it's also sanctioned by the United States. So is there any way out?
The fiscal deficit will increase. The only way it can be reduced is by going to the central bank. But we Venezuelans have plenty of experience of what happens to an economy when you have no growth and finance a fiscal gap by increasing the money supply.
Venezuela has the world's highest inflation. Last year it touched over 2 million%. That rate had slowed in recent months. The fear is now it will rise sharply. Meanwhile, ordinary Venezuelans look set once again to pay the real price for events beyond their control. Stephen Gibbs, CGTN.